Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Purnima Samant Karakote with the evening news. The headlines. Government to resume COVID-19 vaccine exports to COVAX under Vaccine Maitri. National COVID vaccination crosses another milestone with administration of over 81 crore vaccination today. Recovery rate stands at 97.68%. President Ram Nath Kovind confers National Florence Nightingale Award 2020. Government aims to make Brand India a representative of quality, productivity, talent and innovation. Union Minister Anurag Thakur discusses promotion of sports with sports ministers of states and union territories. In Russia, 8 persons killed in a shooting at Perm University. And in IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore were 57 for 4 in 11 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders in Abu Dhabi when reports last came in. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is underway, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact National Helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia today announced resuming of Vaccine Maitri next month. Addressing the media, Mr. Mandavia informed that India will be resuming the export of vaccines under Vaccine Maitri in order to fulfill the commitment of India towards COVAX, in line with the motto Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. He informed that the surplus supply of vaccines will be used to fulfill the commitment towards the world for the collective fight against COVID-19.
हमारी जरूरियात को पूरी करके अधिक प्रोडक्शन करेंगे. ये प्रोडक्शन के तहत हम वैक्सीन मैत्री को भी आगे बढ़ाएंगे. 4th क्वार्टर में वैक्सीन मैत्री के तहत हम दुनिया को भी मदद करेंगे और कोवैक्स में भी हमारी जिम्मेवारी निभाएंगे.
COVAX is co-led by Gavi, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations or CEPI and WHO. Highlighting the importance of indigenous research and production of COVID vaccines in India, Mr. Mandavia said it is due to the relentless efforts and guidance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that India was simultaneously undertaking research and production of COVID vaccines in line with the global developments. He said India's vaccination drive has been a role model for the world and it is marching ahead with great speed. The minister said more than 4 times India has crossed the 1 crore mark since the vaccination drive was commenced on the 16th of January. Informing about the expected production in the coming months, he said more than 30 crore doses will be produced in October and more than 100 crore doses will be produced in the coming quarter.
वैक्सीन प्रोडक्शन बढ़ रहा है. वैक्सीनेशन कार्यक्रम तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है. सितंबर महीने में भारत सरकार को भारतीय कंपनियों ने बनाई हुई 26 करोड़ डोज मिलेगी. अक्टूबर में हमें 30 करोड़ से अधिक डोज मिलने की संभावना है.
India has crossed yet another milestone in the COVID vaccination drive, with the total vaccination crossing the 81 crore mark today. The Health Ministry has termed it as yet another achievement in its fight against COVID-19. Over 30,000 new COVID-19 cases were reported, while around 39,000 people recovered in the last 24 hours. 295 people lost their lives during the period. The Union Health Ministry said the COVID recovery rate in the country now stands at 97.68%. The government today said that more than 79 crore 58 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. The Health Ministry said that more than 5 crore 43 lakh unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states, UTs and private hospitals to be administered. The ministry said more than 15 lakh doses are in the pipeline.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has appealed to the Prime Minister to provide additional doses of 50 lakh COVID vaccines to the state. In a letter to the Prime Minister today, Stalin said that so far 4 crore people have been vaccinated in the state. He reiterated that the state government intended to vaccinate all the uncovered eligible population by the 31st of October, apart from administering a second dose to persons who are due to receive them. Thanking the Union government for supporting the initiatives against COVID-19, he informed that Tamil Nadu still continued to be below the national average. The Chief Minister said directions have been given to the officers of the state to closely liaise with the Ministry of Health and provide all necessary information to enable the state to get additional doses. Kerala witnesses a slight dip in the COVID figures as it confirms 15,692 new positive cases today. Bringing respite, 22,223 recoveries were also reported. At present, 1,67,008 is the active caseload in the state. Meanwhile, the State Health Minister, Veena George, informed that over 90% of people in the state have been administered with the first dose of COVID vaccine. Moreover, in the coming days, adequate measures will be stepped up to accelerate the COVID vaccination drive throughout the state in order to ensure 100% vaccination for all. President Ramnath Kovind today conferred the National Florence Nightingale Award 2020 to Deputy Director General of Military Nursing Service, Brigadier S.V. Saraswati. She has been conferred the award in a virtual ceremony for her immense contribution to the MNS as nurse administrator. Brigadier Saraswati, as a renowned operation theatre nurse, has assisted in more than 3,000 life-saving and emergency surgeries and has trained residents, operation room nursing trainees and auxiliary staff in her career. National Florence Nightingale Award is the highest national distinction a nurse can achieve for selfless devotion and exceptional professionalism.
Minister for Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush, Sarbanand Sonowal, today virtually flagged off the Dwarf Container Train Service from Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust JNPT. With this, the first consignment of laden dwarf containers from Dwarf Container Depot at the port was moved by train to ICD Kanpur. The move will result in more competitive exports and enhance export from India. A robust logistics sector can go a long way in boosting India's quest for being a manufacturing giant and promote Make in India. This will also help JNPT in increasing throughput, reduce congestions at gate and road, increase DPD, which will further reduce cost of logistics for shippers, also improve turnaround time of shipping line containers and address container shortage issues. Meanwhile, talking to newspersons in Guwahati today, Mr. Sarbananda Sonowal appealed farmers to engage themselves in cultivation of herbal plants. He said the demand for Ayush-related products are increasing of late and the market value of such product is 1 lakh crore rupees worldwide. The minister said there are 1,700 medicinal plants in Assam itself. He urged the scientists and researchers to find out the quality and availability of herbal plants in Northeast. Mr. Sonowal said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given much emphasis to Ayush Ministry and his ministry is doing research works with various countries. He also said Ayush and Health Ministry would work together for the betterment of the citizens.
Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has said that government is going to institutionalize a 24-hour helpline for assistance to exporters and resolution of issues. Delivering a keynote address at the launch of Vanijya Saptah at SEZ Noida to commemorate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Mr. Goyal said the government's aim is to make Brand India a representative of quality, productivity, talent and innovation. He said Uttar Pradesh has made a commendable progress in industrial growth and exports, and improvement in law and order has made doing business and trade much easier and safer in the state. The minister said there is a need to jointly create a roadmap for next 25 years and contribute to make India a world leader. He said Vanijya Saptah embodies a pan-India character and will reflect the spirit of Jan Andolan and Jan Bhagidari. India has climbed 2 spots and has been ranked 46th by the World Intellectual Property Organization in the Global Innovation Index 2021 rankings. India has been on a rising trajectory over the past several years in the Global Innovation Index from a rank of 81 in 2015 to 46 in 2021. Innovation has been at the forefront of the battle against the unprecedented crisis created by the pandemic and will be pivotal in driving the country's resilience and self-reliance as enshrined in the Prime Minister's clarion call on Atmanirbhar Bharat. The consistent improvement in the global innovation ranking is owing to the immense knowledge capital, the vibrant startup ecosystem, and the amazing work done by the public and the private research organizations. The scientific departments like the Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Science and Technology, the Department of Biotechnology, and the Department of Space have played a pivotal role in enriching the national innovation ecosystem. NITI Aayog has been working tirelessly to ensure the optimization of the national efforts for bringing policy-led innovation in different areas such as electric vehicles, biotechnology, nanotechnology, space, alternative energy sources, and others. India Innovation Index, the latest edition of which was released last year by the NITI Aayog, has been widely accepted as a major step in the direction of decentralization of innovation across all the states of India.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government to resume COVID-19 vaccine exports to COVAX under Vaccine Maitri. National COVID vaccination crosses another milestone with administration of over 81 crore vaccination today. Recovery rate stands at 97.68%. President Ramnath Kovind confers National Florence Nightingale Award 2020. Government aims to make Brand India representative of quality, productivity, talent and innovation. Union Minister Anurag Thakur discusses promotion of sports with sports ministers of states and union territories. In Russia, 8 persons killed in a shooting at Perm University. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore were 64 for 6 in 12.1 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders in Abu Dhabi when reports last came in. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alert.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Welcome back to the evening news on All India Radio. India and US discussed issues pertaining to bilateral defense cooperation and regional matters, including situation in Afghanistan. In a telephonic talk between Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh and US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, both the countries agreed to continue the useful dialogue. Both the leaders also exchanged views about combating terrorism in the region. Mr. Singh and Mr. Austin appreciated the mutual cooperation in the recent evacuation operations in Afghanistan. Both the countries stressed on the need to strengthen the partnership further. The 6th edition of SCO Exercise Peaceful Mission 2021 started at Orenburg region of southwest Russia. The aim of the exercise is to foster close relations between SCO member states and to enhance abilities of the military leaders to command multinational military contingents. An Indian military contingent comprising of an all-arms combined force of 200 personnel from Indian Army and Indian Air Force is participating in the exercise. The opening ceremony today commenced with an impressive parade by all the participating contingents. Over the next few days, troops will train, share and rehearse tactical drills which will culminate in a final validation exercise. Troops from all armies and air forces will jointly undertake operations in a controlled and simulated environment. The 15th India-Nepal Combined Battalion-level military training exercise Surya Kiran commenced at Pithoragarh in Uttarakhand today. It will continue till the 3rd of October. During the exercise, an infantry battalion, each from the Indian Army and the Nepali Army, will be training together to develop interoperability and share their experience of counter-terrorism operations and disaster relief operations. A traditional opening ceremony was organized to mark the commencement of the exercise, in which both contingents marched in harmony to the Indian and Nepali military tunes.
Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur today virtually interacted with sports ministers of states and union territories across the country today to discuss the further promotion of sports in the country. Following the major success of the Olympics and Paralympics in Tokyo, Mr. Thakur discussed with ministers on the ways forward and how states will contribute in the mission to make India a top sporting nation. He was joined by Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports, Nishit Pramanik. The government's flagship programs, Khelo India and Fit India, were integral part of the interaction. As sports is a state subject, the overall motive of the interaction was to urge them to organize sporting events across rural and urban areas for able-bodied and para-athletes, besides playing a key role in the identification of talents at grassroots level. The promotion of school-level sports and support to the School Games Federation of India was another key point of discussion. The states and UTs will also be requested to form a pool of cash awards for the athletes where both the central and state governments can accumulate funds. Speaking to media after the meeting, Mr. Thakur said meeting with state sports ministers was held to draw a roadmap to prepare athletes for future Olympics and Asian Games and Commonwealth Games. He said ministers agreed to meet at least twice a year to evaluate progress on better infrastructure.
भविष्य के लिए ओलंपिक्स में और इसके अलावा जो इंटरनेशनल चैंपियनशिप्स हैं उसमें भारत का प्रदर्शन किस तरह से पहले से बेहतर हो, कैसे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को बेहतर किया जाए, कैसे ज्यादा कोचेस को जोड़ा जाए, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स हो, इवेंट्स और कंपटीशन ज्यादा किए जाएं और साल में 2 बार सभी राज्य के खेल मंत्री उनके साथ एक राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर समर्स और एक विंटर्स में कॉन्फ्रेंस की जाए ताकि रोड मैप को भी तैयार किया जाए और समय समय पर उसका आंकलन किया जाए। प्रायोरिटी गेम्स हर राज्य को चुनने के लिए कहा ताकि उन खेलों में भविष्य में ओलंपिक्स, एशियन गेम्स और कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में मेडल जीत सकें और जहां पर खेलों के लिए पैसा दिया गया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाने के लिए कहीं पर कमियां हैं उनको अतिशीघ्र पूरे करने के निर्देश भी दिए गए हैं।
The National Commission for Women NCW has launched a country-wide capacity building and personality development program for women undergraduate and postgraduate students. The Commission is collaborating with central and state universities for organizing sessions on personal capacity building, professional career skills and digital literacy, and effective use of social media to prep women students for entering the job market. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Janotsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in the morning news since the 16th of August and will continue till 15th of August 2022. India Post has joined hands as the logistics partner with All India Radio News for the Amrit Mahotsav quiz. Listeners can send their responses to the question over WhatsApp on 882-654-6262 or through email on amritmahotsavquiz@prasarbharati.gov.in. One lucky participant will be selected as a winner and will be awarded an e-certificate and a token prize. Now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest movements the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we pay tributes to 3 valiant women freedom fighters who went against the might of British imperialism and laid down their lives for the independence of India.
Remembering the 60-year-old Assamese martyr, Bhogeshwari Phukanani, who laid down her life for the love of motherland on this day in 1942. Born in Berhampur area of Assam's Nagaon district in 1885, Bhogeshwari was a simple housewife but led massive rebellions in her area and encouraged her 6 sons and 2 daughters to participate in the freedom movement.
After the Berhampur office of the Indian National Congress was seized by the British authorities, the revolutionaries attacked and took back control of the office in September 1942. However, the authorities sent military forces under Captain Finnish to take revenge and crush the revolutionaries.
Bhogeshwari, along with another freedom fighter, Ratanmala, led the revolutionaries and confronted Captain Finnish. When the captain snatched the flag from Ratanmala's hand, Bhogeshwari was furious by the disrespect towards the national flag.
She snatched the flag from Captain Finish's hand and hit his head with the pole of the flag. Enraged by her actions, Captain Finnish pulled out his revolver and fired at Bhogeshwari, who fell down to the ground. She succumbed to her injuries and died on September 20, 1942.
Bhogeshwari is a living testament to the love for motherland and exemplifies that age is never a barrier when national duty calls. We salute the legend of Bhogeshwari Phukanani.
We also remember another Assamese freedom fighter and one of the youngest martyrs of the Quit India movement, Kanaklata Barua, who was martyred on this day in 1942 at the mere age of 17 years. Kanaklata, also referred to as Birbala, was a member of the band of revolutionaries Mrityu Bahini.
Defying the police's orders, she led a group of unarmed villagers to hoist the national flag near a police station in her hometown of Burangabari village in Assam. Kanaklata was shot while hoisting the flag, but even as she fell to bullets, she held the flag high.
The fast petrol vessel ICGS Kanaklata Barua of the Indian Coast Guard, commissioned in 1997, is named after her. A life-size statue of hers was unveiled at Gauripur in 2011. May we continue to be inspired by such courageous souls.
We are also remembering the Irish social reformer and supporter of Indian nationalism, Theosophist Annie Besant, who left us on this day in 1933. Along with Lokmanya Tilak, Besant launched the All India Home Rule League in 1916, which perhaps was the first political movement in India to have regime change as its main goal. She was the first woman to be elected as President of the Indian National Congress in 1917.
As early as 1902, Besant had written that India is not ruled for the prospering of the people, but rather for the profit of her conquerors, and her sons are being treated as a conquered race. She encouraged Indian national consciousness, attacked caste and child marriage, and worked for the Indian education. As editor of the New India newspaper, she called for clear and decisive moves towards self-rule. Until the end of her life, Besant campaigned for India's independence, not only in India, but also on the tours of Britain. We salute her love and zeal for Indian independence.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
As part of ongoing celebrations commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, Air Force Station Srinagar will conduct an air show at Dal Lake in Srinagar on the 26th of this month. The event, being organized in collaboration with J&K government, will be flagged off by Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha at Sher-e-Kashmir International Conference Centre.
In Uttar Pradesh, President of Akhil Bharatiya Akhada Parishad and Mahant of Bade Hanuman Temple, Narendra Giriji, was found dead in Prayagraj today. A police team have reached at the spot and investigating the reasons behind the deaths. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has condoled the death of the Mahant. In his tweet, he said, "The death of Mahant Narendra Giriji is a big loss to the spiritual world." Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief on the death of Akhada Parishad President Narendra Giri. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, while devoted to spiritual traditions, Narendra Giriji played a big role in connecting the saint community together. He prayed that the Almighty place him at his feet.
In Russia, 8 people were killed today when a gunman opened fire at a university in city of Perm. The assailant walked onto the campus and started shooting indiscriminately. The incident occurred at 11 hours at Perm State University. In IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore was 75 for 7 in 15.1 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders in Abu Dhabi when reports last came in. Earlier, Bangalore won the toss and opted to bat first. Last night, Chennai Super Kings beat Mumbai Indians by 20 runs at Dubai. Tomorrow, Punjab Kings will take on Rajasthan Royals at Dubai. At the domestic stock markets, key indices ended lower for the second successive day today. A report from the Business World.
At the stock markets, the Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange declined 525 points or 0.9% to end at 58,491 today. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange dropped 188 points or 1.1% to 17,397. At the Forex market, the rupee weakened 26 paisa to 73 rupees and 74 paisa against the dollar. At the bullion market, gold gained 14 rupees to 45,080 rupees in Delhi. And in the international market, Brent oil slipped $1.50 to trade at $73.84 a barrel. Anubha Rohatgi for AIR News.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will vary between 27 and 34 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius while maximum is expected to be around 28. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will vary between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a generally cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. City will observe a minimum temperature of 26 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 30 degrees. Jammu and Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature in Jammu will be 23 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 33 degrees. While in Srinagar, the temperature will hover between 15 and 27 degrees Celsius. Leh and Gilgit are expected to have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Leh, the minimum and maximum temperature will be between 8 to 24 degrees Celsius, while in Gilgit, the temperature will hover between 11 and 34 degrees Celsius. In South, Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam and Bengaluru will have a generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. In Hyderabad, minimum temperature will be 24 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 30 degrees. Thiruvananthapuram will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. In Northeast, Guwahati, Shillong, Itanagar, Gangtok and Agartala will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government to resume COVID-19 vaccine exports to COVAX under Vaccine Maitri. National COVID vaccination crosses another milestone with administration of over 81 crore vaccination today. Recovery rate stands at 97.68%. President Ramnath Kovind confers National Florence Nightingale Award 2020. Government aims to make Brand India a representative of quality, productivity, talent and innovation. Union Minister Anurag Thakur discusses promotion of sports with sports ministers of states and union territories. And in IPL cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore was 76 for 8 in 15.4 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.